Hey, Larry. Hey, Jared. All right, guys. Same old. If you guys have any questions, let me know and I'll add you to the panelists and we can have a good chat.
Hey, Gabriel.
Hello, Larry, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hmm.
Hello?
Can't hear you for some reason.
Huh. Unmute. Can you hear me now?
Oh, okay. Yeah, now it's working.
Okay, I had to hit the mute and unmute on the corner again. Okay, so I have if we can share screen and just quickly review my ads. I think it'll
Yeah,
just take a minute.
awesome. Give me a sec.
Share, sharing. Okay, we don't need to see the weather. Um, Although I do like to see it snow in the mountains. So I've got these 10 ads going, driving them to the landing page that
Right,
we looked at last time. And so they've just been up for a couple days now,
right.
uh, 63 total clicks. And I guess my question is these two are, it looks like from the reach, they're not really being shown and they have the highest cost per click. So I'm wondering if that, after 2 or 3 days, you kill those or not.
Right. Yeah, let me just request control real quick. And then I'll walk you through the campaign. Awesome. All right, so let's just look through this. Um, you have the traffic, and all three of these are running. So I just want to check something real quick because it didn't seem like you were running for landing page views.
Okay.
Oh, but it is. Okay. Yep, that's correct. And this is correct as well.
Hey, the first time for everything.
Okay, so here you have about 44 clicks in total. Okay, I'll just review them one by one so it's easier, but let's take a look at the first ad set. So there's one click. Okay, so here you have 7 variations. Um,
Only the top four are live because the other three were the worst performers. So that was what was suggested, was to advance 3 to 4 ads in each ad set.
right, gotcha. So those weren't performing as well in the previous campaign, correct?
Correct.
Awesome. Yeah, so over here you've spent like, okay, budget's $20 a day. but you're only spent $10.70 so far. How long has this been running for?
Just a couple days. Would have been since Wednesday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, almost 3 whole days.
Okay, sure. So this one, $20 a day as well. You've spent $10 here. Oh, was this supposed to be switched on?
No, that cover image was a poor performer. That that's something that they're just kind of trying to cue me to review and publish, but I'm not running that ad.
Okay, sure. So this one you have 1.75 frequency, this one not so much. And you've shown it to 300-ish people. Okay. And then you have this one, which was... Okay, so this one has been spending.
Yeah.
And then you have, okay, the click-throughs and all that. Right. Well, so the first thing is, like, if you've been running $20 a day on the ad set level for a few days now, like if I look at the amount spent and it's only $16, $10, like that kind of gives me the feeling like something is not right, just because you should have spent more than that. Like, you know, at a $20 per day budget, that would have been at least like $40, $50. That would have been a bit more accurate. So just by looking at these numbers, like more or less I can tell that the audience is a little bit too small.
Okay.
We're just gonna look into this real quick. And okay, so your potential reach is 3,500 people, which isn't that big. So yeah, the reason being these are the dentists and they also need to be Facebook page admins, right? So I think for this particular ad set, what you should do is just add in the additional dental interest, the one that you have for the other ad set, I think. So there was one ad set.
Right.
Yeah.
The other ad set I added in the schools, schools of dentistry.
Yeah, exactly. So I think like it'll be good to add those in as well. Yeah, so this one, wow, why is the reach lower than the first? So this is a little weird because this one only has 3,200 people. But the first one has 3,500. Okay, right. So okay, so the reason why this one is smaller is because you start off with the lookalike and then you limit the lookalike with the interest, right? So that's why it's smaller, because you start off with a limited audience already. So what I would do is just the other ad set, the first one. So the US male 30 to 65 plus, you would just want to add in all of these other dental interests, like the ones with the schools and all that, and just add it into the first ad set to make it a little bit more broad.
Okay.
And you can also add in the business page admins. So just to keep it a bit more consistent, this one only has Facebook page admins, and there's only 2 titles over here. So you want to include like all the schools and everything else, and also the business page admins over here. That should increase your reach a little bit more, probably to maybe like 10,000 or a bit higher than that, I reckon. So you would just allow, basically allow this ad set to spend a little bit more, because for now, like, I think you sort of maximized your audience already.
Okay.
So that's pretty much what I can see from this ad set. For this one, I mean, narrowing it down after you put in the lookalike audience, seems to be a little bit small as well. So let's see what happens when we remove this limitation. Okay, so your reach goes up to 8,800. So typically what happens is, I'm just going to close this without publishing. So typically what happens is if I start off with with a really targeted audience, I just want to test to see like how much budget is required to hit the entire audience first. So just to relate this to another campaign that I'm running, like it's an e-commerce campaign. So I set up a retargeting ad set, and I wanted to target people who added to cart but didn't purchase. So, the estimated audience size was about 2,000. I ran the ad set at $20 a day, and then left it there for a week. I came back, it only spent like 5 cents. So it spend anywhere near what I wanted it to spend. So after that, like, that was when I edited the ad set to make it slightly broader. So instead of just adding to cart, like, I included people who viewed content as well, and then just put it back in. Yeah, and then ran that for another 3 days. Like, it still wasn't spending as much. So in the end, I just put like anyone who visited the site but didn't add to cart. Anyone who visited the site but didn't purchase. I just put them in that ad set, and then now it's spending about like $15 a day, thereabouts. My budget for that particular ad set was like $20 a day, but just because by narrowing it down too much, I couldn't get the data that I need. So that's why I just started to expand it slowly. So pretty much like if I was running this campaign, it's similar to the situation I'm facing now. I would try and broaden the audience a little bit more. On
the top two, especially the top two.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I would just, I removed the requirement that they need to be a Facebook page admin. And even then, it only gives me an audience of 8,800 people. So I think this is, this is not a really big audience as well. So you'll probably still spend less than $20 a day, but it's a good start. So let's look into the so that's my comments for the first two ad sets.
Okay.
There's not much data for me to sort of diagnose it right now. So I'm just going to move on to this one because it spent a little bit more. So based off of this, yeah, so you've had, only about like 40 clicks, but you're paying 92 cents per click. And for some reason, like, it doesn't count as a landing page view. This is to the ClickFunnels site?
Yeah.
Okay, that's weird. So let's just check real quick to see. If the link is working.
Huh.
Yeah, so the pixel wasn't installed properly. I think you have to re-look into it. Yeah. So yeah, just having, just to double check here, like typically if you see like, you have like quite a few link clicks, you know, and here this is landing page views, right? So you still don't have any landing page views
Yeah, I was
registered.
wondering how those get registered.
Yeah, so the reason why it's not registered is because the pixel isn't installed on the page, and this can affect your campaign negatively, just because Facebook doesn't register the landing page view, right? So as of now, you still have 0 landing page views, and this ad set is trying to optimize for landing page views. So because you're not feeding that data to Facebook, they're not optimizing it at all at the moment. They're sort of just guessing to see which one is going to be a landing page view. So I would just sort out that pixel real quick. Make sure every time you set up a new lander or you switch a lander, you just want to use the pixel helper to go in and check if the pixel was installed properly. And then once, yeah, exactly, Jared. So if the pixel's not installed properly, like Facebook's not going to receive that data. So yeah, I would just look through that pixel code and try and make sure that's set up again before scaling the campaign any further. But did you get any leads from that, Larry?
Not yet.
Okay. So I think it's all right because as of now, let's say for this ad set, you spent like $50. And okay, so you're paying like 90 cents a click. You should be getting like a couple of downloads though, which is weird. Is there a reason why the bottom looks like this? It's kind of weird with this gray background over here. I would try and like fix this.
So it would all be kind of the aqua background?
Yeah, that would look a lot more natural because this kind of looks like the page hasn't finished loading yet. So I would just, put the full page with that background and then just center this entire thing. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I would just fix the pixel and then like try and, let the campaign, fix the pixel, adjust the first 2 ad sets, and then let the campaign run a little bit more just to collect data, and then, see like how the results go.
Okay. I appreciate that input.
No worries, Larry. You got any other questions at the moment?
We'll just work on that for now.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Awesome. No worries. And now I will move on to Jared.
There we go.
Hey, Jared.
Okay,
How are you doing? I'm all
doing,
right.
I'm doing really good. I woke up today to an email. I onboarded too many clients last week. I got a little overwhelmed, and I completely forgot to onboard a client.
That's a good problem to have. I saw
It is a
you
good problem
crushing.
I had.
Yeah,
I
so
totally-
you're
I thought
crushing
I-
a couple of campaigns as well, eh?
Yeah, a couple of them are doing really well. One of them isn't really moving anywhere. And actually, let's talk about this diet coach that I picked up today. She does dietary coaching for everybody, basically. She's
Right.
got some testimonials for athletes, some foreigners, and then just a regular girl, stay-at-home mom. So I'm wondering, what kind of funnel should I put in place for a dietary coach?
Right. So for the coaching programs, like, I mean, in in the Teachable platform, like there are a couple of funnels that you can consider using. So like for diet coach, like you can probably try out like, a free consult, or like free consult, like that would be one angle to go with it. Or she could probably do a lead magnet, like sort of like either determining your body type, or like, something to do with the dietary habits. So typically for, these sorts of coaching stuff, like you want to just give some form of value up front. So I would say something along the lines of just sending them to a lander, just a free sort of introduction video, that kind of thing. And then like submit your email to receive like a free dietary plan, or book in a free 15-minute consultation. So either one, depending on what your client is comfortable with. It's really funny because like I've been getting retargeted for a bunch of like personal trainers and all the other stuff, just because I've been browsing a few supplement websites lately. So I got like retargeted by a bunch of them. It's funny that you brought this up. So let me just pull it up real quick. I actually see him on my newsfeed right now. Yeah, so this guy is actually crushing it, man. Like his videos are really, really good. And I liked his ads a lot. So you can check it out. This was the first ad that I saw, which was pretty hilarious. And then this was just like kind of like a joke thing. Like his actual lander looks nothing like that. But when you click on the lander, yeah, so this is pretty much what you're gonna see. Like there's an introduction video, and he has like a training blueprint, right, for $47. Depending on how depends on how credible your client is as well. Because for this guy, like he's trained like a couple of celebrity customers, so like that's why he can charge for it right away. But if you want to give it away as like as a free lead magnet kind of thing, and then like follow up with a sequence, that would be great. But yeah, typically from my own personal experience as a consumer, almost all of these coaching, all of these like dietary coaching, personal trainers coaching kind of thing, like they all usually start off with a training blueprint. Like that's the most common offer that I've seen. Yeah, and then targeting wise, like I would say like it's pretty simple. Like just target like people in people who just got married, or like people who are in their in like between 35 to 50 years old, that kind of thing, just because like they tend to be more overweight. And then like if depending on your budget, like you can test out like some of the states in is this for like face-to-face coaching, or like online?
It's face-to-face. So this is just the dietary side of it. So I don't think she's going to have like a workout program. I think
Right.
what we'll probably run with is a free consult. Like I'll just, on this page here will be, the testimonials, who they've helped, what's in the program, and then the lead magnet will be for a free consult, I think.
Right, gotcha. Yeah, I mean, like that's definitely doable. If it's just in a local setting. Like the problem with like free consults is, the conversion from the free consults to a paying customer wouldn't, like it's kind of like a numbers game, right? So like even for like gyms, that sort of thing, like if they give like a free 1 week pass, like after the first week, the number of people who convert to a full-time membership isn't actually that high, just because they can't really commit to that, right? So
Mhm.
so that's the problem when your lead magnet isn't scalable, in the sense where she has to physically take up her own time to coach these people, right? And if none of them convert, then, or like if 1 in 20 people convert, then it's going to be hard for her to sort of scale that, just because, you know, she's not going to be able to, or I don't think even if she's able to, I don't think she wants to give, you know, 100 consults a week. So that's why, like, I would sort of recommend just doing, at least for the first tier, you know, if you're for the first tier lead magnet, like if you could do something that's a written guide or something, that would be great. And then like if you follow up again with a free consult, then that would be, you know, a little bit more, in terms of the quality of the leads, the people who come in to take the calls, they're more likely to convert, right?
Mm-hmm. What about maybe a luxury raffle on this where we give away like a $2,500 90-day program?
Yeah, that would work for sure as well. So one thing about like coaching programs that, you know, really works is you want to like get people, you want to like sort of almost get people to apply for it, in a sense where, you know, you don't want to make it too easy for them. So the angle that works kind of really well nowadays, like for, you know, coaching, info products, that sort of thing, is you want to tell them like, look, you know, I don't work with everybody. Like I only work with a certain type of person. So you got to fill up this application form, you know, with some details. And if I feel that you're suitable, then let's talk, right? So even if you end up talking to all of them, like you want to make them feel like, okay, I got to work for this, right? So just ask them like some basic questions like, okay, so what do you weigh now? How much do you want to weigh in, you know, 6 months time? Like what's the motivation to get there? Like how committed are you? And, you know, are you financially able to make an investment for your health or something like that? So just like, you know, that really changes the mindset in a sense, where now they have to sort of fight to even get accepted in this program, right? So, you know, if you're doing like a raffle kind of thing, like that would be a great way to do it, because, you know, if you're giving something away for $2,500, like that gives them more incentive to actually fill up these details. And then when you hop on the call with them, you already have all of this information, which is going to be really helpful to try and close them into a paying customer.
Okay, so maybe run like a raffle of some kind, and then use have them basically apply to it, or self segment, right? So you can say, how much do you weigh now? How much do you want to weigh? How much can you invest into reaching your goals? And then if all of those answers are right, then they could go on to a thank you land or something like that to fire a pixel. Right? So that I can create a custom audience from it for targeting.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that if you want to. I mean, like personally, I would just take all the calls. So I wouldn't reject anyone. So like regardless of what their answer is, like we're just going to accept them either way. But it just, you know, lets you have a better idea. Like when you start taking more and more calls and you start to look through the data, that's when you start to realize, you know, like what's the trend going towards, you know? So yeah, I would say like just send all of the traffic to that page with the form to fill up, and then regardless of what their answer is, just book them in. Just sign them up for the raffle, and then like once once the raffle is sort of over, or what you can also say is like, you know, after you apply, we're going to follow up with a call just to make sure that you're suitable for this, and if you are, then we'll enter you in. Something along those lines might work as well. So
Okay.
What's the budget that you're looking to run with this campaign?
I don't know. I have to talk to her about it, but I tell them it needs to be between $20 and $30 a day.
Right. That's awesome. So, you know, more than enough. I think like with a raffle like this, you know, you can probably get these entries for maybe $1 each, $1.50. So if you get like 20 a day, you know, by the end of the month, you probably have a few hundred. And I think like like what would be would a potential client be worth to her? Probably like $2,000 thereabouts.
2 to 5,000, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a great like ROI. I think like you can probably just like I think there's a few ways that you can go about doing this, whether it's the raffle, whether it's the lead magnet. So, if the raffle is the easiest way to get started, I think you can go ahead just because you have a budget that, is gonna get you a positive ROI like 90% of the time. And yeah, and then from there, once that works, scale that up, and then you see, get a more budget to test other offers or other angles.
Okay. Yeah, well, I guess that's still what the question is what funnel, either just a straight coaching funnel that'll look like this guy's, or if we make it a raffle. And I guess that'll depend on my next conversation with the client to see if they want to offer out a raffle program. Yeah, because that sounds like it's going to be the easiest way to filter out, just because, like you said, I don't want her calling up everybody scheduling and, they don't have any money to spend on the program. They're just wasting time.
Yeah, for sure. I think like
And a
you
raffle
wouldn't.
would be an easy way to do that,
Yeah.
because I could put on the form there, some basic questions.
Yeah.
And she can go back through and pick out the ones that are good leads and reach out to them.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I don't think you have to ask them like, okay, how much money do you have to invest into this? But like something that I've been noticing, on a lot of these coaching programs and all that, is just the last part of the form. They have like a checkbox which says, I understand that some form of financial investment is required for this program. And, it's required for them to tick that before they can submit the form. So
Okay.
if you have that in place, they're psychologically prepared to spend money, right? Otherwise, especially for an offer where you're doing a giveaway, if they don't win the giveaway, then they're probably not going to be interested to spend any money at all, right? Because they would
Right.
expect the whole thing for free. So that mental,
So maybe the
aspect.
giveaway isn't a good idea then, because all the people that enter it are going in for something for free.
Yeah, I mean, it could still work. So like, let's say if you do a giveaway and then one person wins, and then, the like top 10 people get like a discount on the training program. I think that would still convert, right? And the good thing about the giveaway is that you get like a ton of participants, and to make this campaign like a positive ROI, like you just need one conversion, right? So you're not going to get like 100 people out of 200 who convert, but even if you get like 3 or 4, like that's still going to be like a massive ROI for you. So
Yeah.
in that scenario, like I think the giveaway is still going to work. So the question is just how scalable, because you can't like run a giveaway like every single month, right? Like that lowers the value of the whole program. But it's a great way to get started for sure.
Yeah, well, for the first campaign, yeah, you give them one that works really well, and then you say, hey, the next one's not going to work that well. Just be prepared.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I would put it better than that, but yeah, I mean, I think like for sure, like just to start, like, you want to give them like really explosive results, that sort of thing. And then like subsequently, you want to make sure like that they're clear, like, look, it's going to be slightly slower, but the benefit of this is in the long run, we're going to have a steady stream of leads coming in, which you can keep converting on a monthly basis. So, it's not, we don't want to, just do it like once every 6 months. We want to do it every day on a consistent basis. And if they can just close one guy every day, or even one guy every week, that's like an additional, one guy every week would be probably extra $8,000, $20,000 a month, right? So that's massive money for them. Yeah, and I think, it's just the first month that's going to decide whether or not they're interested to continue.
All right, for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
awesome.
yeah, if anybody else has something to ask, otherwise we can look at a campaign right now that I'm redoing that isn't really converting.
Right. Yeah, I think Obina is there as well.
Yeah, put
Uh,
Obina in, and I'll hang out. And if it's not too late, then we'll check it out.
all right, cheers, Jared.
Yeah.
Hey guys, anyone has any more questions? Obina?
Hey, I was correctly
Oh,
clicked raise your hand. Sorry about that. All right.
oh, no worries. But do you have any questions?
Not right now. I'm just doing listening. I'm just listening to what's going on, which is pretty insightful. All right. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah. All right, Jared. Then I guess we'll just continue with your next campaign. You have the
All right,
floor.
cool. Let's let me grab it here. Share the screen. All right, so we are going to look at Dr. Ronald Brooks.
That is a lot of tabs, dude.
Yeah, it's I know what all of them are though.
Right, I get it. I have 3 monitors and they all look like that as well.
That's why I need more monitors. So we are changing this. Well, let's just look at it. I'm changing it around to a different post. But let's get the stats on it. All right, so this is the one that's running. We've got 109 landing page views. What I'm running here, so he is a psychologist. He's a writer. He's a business coach. So what I wanted to do based on his content is run an authority funnel where we started with one blog and then window targeted 2 to 7 days, 21, and you know. So the first one wasn't doing any conversions. The second one right here had one sign up and a total of $130. So I'm wondering, is that normal for this page? You know, for the first step in the funnel. No, they're not even on. Not delivering. Ads are off. That's weird. Oh, it's because they're off. Yeah, so he wants to change this all around, and we're going to be starting over.
Right.
So I guess this is what I'm looking at. You know, it's got high relevance scores, but it's still almost $1 per landing page. That's the most that I've seen with a $9 and $1 landing page.
Right.
And this first landing page really didn't convert. Is that normal for an authority funnel?
Could you show me the lander that you're sending them to?
Yeah.
That's a really creepy photo.
I know. And here were the other ones I used, and that one seemed to be the most popular, which is weird. Why? Well, this is weird. Where is the URL?
Yeah, maybe what you can do is just preview with comments and then you can see the URL from the actual post.
So this is what it goes to.
Okay.
And to be completely honest, for me, this stuff's just boring as shit for me. So I don't know if it's engaging for the target audience or what it is.
Right.
Because he's very insistent. I have to use these exact words. You know, he's a writer, so I have to take basically this stuff and make it entertaining.
Right. Okay. So basically he hamstrung you and then he's wondering why it's not working.
Yes, yeah. So he gives me the stuff. He goes, it has to be this blog. This is what I want it to be. And it doesn't work. And I come back and I go, it's not working. He goes, okay, now change it. I'm like, what?
Okay.
So knowing that he's going to come back and he's going to want another page that's just like this. I actually have 3 of them. They look just like this. It's just, this part is different.
Right.
So from here, that's the only part that's different on all 3 of these authority page pages.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I have to work with to try and make it convert. Oh, and on top of that, I get to use $10 a day. So I'm not so sure this client's going to be staying with me for long. But,
Right. Okay. So I mean, like, first things first, just looking at this, it's super distracting. There's too much stuff on it. The text is too small, and it just looks like verbal vomit to me, like, to be honest. So that's the first thing, which is the structure of the page. Like, if you land on this page for the first time, you're not gonna really know where to get started, in terms of reading it.
Here's the mobile view of it.
Right. So that's going to be a problem because I can't read that at all. Like, even on my desktop, that looks too small. So on the phone, like, number one, the font size is going to be a huge issue in my opinion. Like, the second thing, like, right off the, okay, so just to elaborate.
Let me jump into it real quick and we can look at it from this side.
No worries. So just to, elaborate real quick about structure, right? Like personally for myself, when I built my landing pages, I don't like to use more than one column for the entire funnel. So what I mean by that is if you have 2 columns and both of them have a huge chunk of text there, that's a huge no-no for me, just because, like, visually it looks super overwhelming, and from the prospect point of view, like, when someone lands on this page, you don't really know where to start, right? Like, okay, you might start off at a headline, but after that you get distracted by about the author and then about the health huddle and then this and that. So this structure in itself is really, really distracting for me. The second thing is the size of the font is really small. Could you just go to the mobile version? Yeah, so this looks like a newspaper article, which,
well, that is how the ad points them, though. So on the ad, it tells them you're going to a blog post.
Right.
Let's see, where's it at? Right, so all of this right here, the headline lets them know it's a blog.
Right.
But I agree, even though that it is a blog, it's still just a ton of text.
Yeah, I think, like, it's just structuring, right? So that's why when we do, even when we do up, like, blog pages, we make sure, like, okay, we segment text properly. We put, like, images in between just to make it a lot easier for people to read. That's the first thing. The second thing is, aside from the structure and the text, he has, like, 2 other call to actions above the one that you actually want them to click, right? So that's that audiobook thing and then that Amazon link as well. So, I feel like that's really unnecessary because, that's not the point is to get people to sign up for the free consultation. But someone who actually bothered to read through this entire article, if they see, like, oh, okay, there's a free sample audiobook, they're going to download it, they're going to try and, like, go through that first, and then by that time they forgot, like, this offer even exists. So I feel like just having the sample audiobook download there is actually working against you, because they wouldn't even be able to get to the end where the offer is, right?
Right.
Yeah, so rule of thumb, like, you want to make sure that you only have one call to action on the page so that people don't get distracted from what you want them to do. So it's really confusing for me because I don't know whether or not you want me to download the audiobook or you want me to sign up for the consultation, right? And because the audiobook comes first, that's what I'm going to do. And when I click on that, I'm gone. I'm on Amazon, and then, I'm not going to come back to this landing page. So yeah, that's the second issue that I have with it. Okay, he is at the bottom.
So up here, break this up with an image in between these two. Bring up the font size. Pull this. Right? Pull this.
Yeah.
Put an image there. Replace that with an image.
Yeah, exactly. I think like at the bottom, the about him section as well, like that's probably the most important part of this because you want to know who you're getting a consultation with. So I find it a little bit weird that that comes after the button. And the fact that that text is so small, I have to strain my eyes to read it. Like if he's like a professor at the University of Maryland, University College in the graduate school, like those are like really important points that build on his credibility, right? So you want that to really stand out. Like I would think like that's actually the most important text on the page, like not even the blog post. So I think like one way that you could do this is
like that.
Like, yeah, I mean, that looks way more obvious than before. But anyways, I was just thinking, like, does the blog post have to be on the same page as the offer? So why not have like a separate landing page where it's just about him, about his patients, and about the offer, right? And then just have a separate page which is the full blog post, and then send the traffic to the blog post first. People who read the entire post, you retarget them with the page for the free consultation. Like, is that something that you could set up?
Yeah, I mean, I can set that up.
Yeah, so I think that would work better.
And then we can just, well, I'd still want to probably just leave this here, but on the retargeting ads, right? I mean, essentially we could leave this the same and just use the retargeting ads to be this consultation offer.
Yeah, exactly. And then so on the retargeting ads, like the landing page that you use for the retargeting ads, like you just want it to, hang on, my computer's going a bit wonky. Yeah, so basically when you retarget him, you just want to have a separate landing page that's fully about him, his credentials, his reviews, and then just the offering question, just to get people to book in. So at least people have more information before they book the consultation. Like, this page doesn't really synchronize with what you're trying to, like, in my opinion, it doesn't feel like this page is even trying to get me to sign up for the consult. Like, it's just like, oh, okay, like, read this free post, and I read it, and it's like, oh, by the way, there's a consult if you want it. And I'm like, no, I don't want it. So I wouldn't book it, Yeah, so this slander doesn't really convince people to sign up for the consultation. I think that's the main issue that you need to try and fix.
Okay, so instead of retargeting these people with other blogs, I'll put up 3 blogs in their own ad set.
You there, Jerry?
And then retarget anybody who's read a blog with.
Sorry, but there's some problems with my sound. Give me a sec. Hello?
Yeah. Can you hear us? Can you hear? Gabe? The broken, Gabe? Whoa.
Hey, sorry guys, like I don't know what happened to my computer, but yeah, I'm back now.
All right, it's all
Can you
good.
hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm just gonna do this on my phone.
Well, I guess I was just wrapping up because I got to jump on a call in 7 minutes. But basically, what we're going to do is tear this down, use a blog as the initial pixel fire, and then retarget them with an actual program landing page.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. Cool, man. That's I'm good.
Awesome. Yeah, so okay. So if Obina or Larry, you guys have any last questions? You got like 5 minutes left.
Hey, Dina, the only question I had, how are we going to access the recordings of all the sessions that are going on?
All right. So D1NO should be uploading these into the Teachable platform, and then you guys would have access to it.
Is it at the end of the entire session or as it goes? As it one?
I gotta check with him again about that because previously we were set up on ClickFunnels and we just moved to Teachable. So I think we're still sort of figuring some things out, but the bulk of the recording should be uploaded as they come along.
Okay, sounds good. That's all I wanted. Thank you.
Yeah, cheers, buddy. Yeah, all right, guys. So, you know, if there's no more questions, I think that's pretty much it for now. Yeah, so all right, guys, I think like we can end a little bit early today. since there's no other questions. But if you guys have anything that you gotta ask me, just hit me up on Facebook and I'll help you guys out as per usual. All right, cheers guys, and thanks for attending today.